okay?
No.
Who do you think changed your status? Who knew your password?
I don't know. I made Samantha and Cheyenne look away when I set it up.
Oh, Taylor, I've looked around this website. It's completely inappropriate for someone your age. There are no boundaries. You need to shut down your profile.
Come on.
Look at you. You're in tears after one day. Just shut it down. It's not worth it.
That's a scene from ABC Family's television movie Cyberbully, a dramatic movie moment, but one that may resonate with moms of teens and preteens growing up in the digital age. Welcome back into Studio 5. While cyberbullying is a real problem, it's just one of the challenges teens face as they learn to navigate social media. So today we're sharing strategies to keep social media from crushing your teen's self-esteem. Joining me is Jessie Funk, founder of Ivy Girl Academy. It's so great to have you. I'm glad it's you taking on this topic. You play such a unique role and a valuable role from my perspective because you're a parent yourself. You get it. You're also a teen advocate, so you help cross that bridge. And I'm coming at this from a unique place. My child's 2. She doesn't have a Facebook account, but I have sisters who are still in that high school scene, and I've seen firsthand how affected they can be by social media. We'd be naive to think that social media won't affect your your kids' self-esteem, but there's a way you say as a parent you can help shape it so it doesn't have to crush it.
Absolutely. It's such a fun thing. There's so many good things about it, and so we want our kids to explore that. We want our kids to be social, of course we do. And let's be honest, like, I love Snapchat. My cute friend Amy Rasmussen says it's like texting with your face. Like, you're having these like fun little conversations.
I'm still trying to figure out Snapchat. You're way cooler than me.
No, I still am figuring it out. It's just so fun. And so there's good things, of course, but we as parents have to set some limits, because if we don't, the kids will totally just run with it, and then it gets too much, and then of course it will affect their self-esteem.
I'm so glad you're hitting that head on and first and foremost, because I think social media is unfamiliar still to us as parents, so it's hard to know what limits that we should set, so we kind of turn it over to them. Yeah. But you say that's a bad idea.
No. Yeah, we have to set limits. We have to be the parent. We have to be the bad guy. We have to. You have to tell yourself, I can't be my kid's friend all the time. Like, of course we want to have a great relationship, but I can't be buddies with them. I have to set limits. I have to make sure that they have balance in their lives. And our teenagers' brains, their ability to weigh consequences, their ability to manage their impulses, their ability to set their own limits, that's not developed yet in their brain. There is absolutely a lack of ability. So we have to set the boundaries. We have to teach them.
You mentioned Snapchat. I don't want to rag on any particular social network, because like you said, social media can have, a positive force in our lives. But Snapchat in particular, I think parents would be shocked if they don't know how frequently those snaps are flying around, the number, the quantity. How can you help set boundaries in that regard if you're seeing your teen just nose to screen with their phone all the time?
I know. Well, and I think the same kind of rules go for any social media platform. Like, we really have to say, honey, we have to have constant conversations. Here is our family's boundary. We have a really specific boundary. For me, my own opinion, but I know I'm right, like an hour a day. Why do kids need more than an hour a day on social media? If they're just sitting scrolling and scrolling and scrolling or snapping back and forth for hours and hours, it's not okay. How is that productive for them?
Are you a fan, Jessie, of using social media as a form of discipline? In other words, you break a rule, the consequence is I take away social media.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Any kind of consequence. I think take the phone. I really do. I'm a huge advocate of taking the actual phone, because it's a status symbol, just holding it in your hand, no matter what you're doing on it. So taking that as a consequence is very motivating for a teenager to help them set those limits.
When we talk about social media and self-esteem, teens are hyper-focused, we know this, on that number of followers. Like, how many people are looking at me? How many people are liking my photos? Is there a way to regulate who they follow and that back and forth exchange?
Yeah, for sure. One of my really sweet friends, Natalie Lawrence, shout out, she said something profound that I thought was so valuable. She said, if I am following someone and anytime I see any post that they put on, if it makes me feel bad, makes me feel sad, makes me feel jealous, makes me feel like I'm not good enough, I unfollow them. I just unfollow them. And I know that sounds really simple, but that is a tool that you can give your kid. Just say, check in with how you feel about it. Because if you're putting yourself down thinking this one tiny snapshot from this person's life, it is not their entire life. It's only one tiny little moment, and you're thinking your whole life completely sucks comparatively. That's not a good thing. So having those conversations.
I'm going to play devil's advocate, though. Is that teaching them? I know a lot of friends, adults, women, who have done that, right? If it makes you feel bad, I unfollow. And I actually personally support it. But I think there is the argument that, are we running away then from those negative feelings, from jealousy or from, you know, self-worth, attaching it to other people's success. What's the balance there?
I don't think it's running away. I think it's trying to have some type of balance, because they're going to have plenty of jealousy. They're going to have plenty of those feelings of comparing anywhere else in their life, in the real world. You know, they're going to have plenty of that, where they do have to face it and they do have to build that muscle, which is totally true. But I think having some kind of balance where they have some control.
Gotcha.
They have a little bit of control who they follow. I think that's where it's a good thing.
You want teens to learn to build themselves up, to not rely on those connections through the screen to do it. How can we shape that as parents?
I think making sure that our kids are seeing more than the screens, obviously. So really actively, I mean, putting tons of effort. I mean, as a parent, if you're really trying to make sure your kids are serving in the community, your kids are seeing other things, I highly recommend traveling and seeing other cultures, trying new foods and cooking with your kids, talking with your kids, playing board games. I mean, there's so many fun things that you can do as a family, and I think it's just hard because we're all on screens. All of us are. Adults, everyone's on a screen. So just trying to have some kind of balance just in our home when the kids come home from school, doing things with them so that they're seeing things outside of social media.
And just emphasizing those good qualities that maybe aren't being celebrated, you know, by their teens through the screen. At home, they can feel that praise and that validation.
Absolutely.
I think there's more to talk about with this topic. We'll have to bring you back for a part 2. But before we say goodbye, I want to ask you about the programs and workshops that Ivy Girl Academy provides. They really do focus on the positive self-image.
Absolutely. And I was just going to say that, like making sure that we're always validating our kids, making our kids validate themselves, trying to make sure that they see good things in themselves. I'm good, I'm kind, I'm strong, I'm loyal, I'm a good friend, all of that kind of stuff. Making sure your kids have that narrative going in their mind, that's going to help with social media. And that is something that we totally focus on at Ivy Girl. So we have workshops, we have certification programs. Just check out ivygirlacademy.com.
You're doing good. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
We appreciate it.